Hello, welcome to Tuesday. So, let's talk about the internet and social media, which is great because now you can get like bite-sized stuff, which keeps you entertained, like bite-sized articles from papers like The Sun on Twitter, so you don't need to actually read the paper. Yeah, now if you're into the current bun, that's your gig, that's fine. So I saw one the other day. It's made me chuckle. It's brilliant. So a teetotal woman, called her kids Jack Daniel and Tia Marie, and says didn't know they were drinks. Named them after, what was it, a Spanish waitress and a Canadian runner. Didn't know they were drinks, absolutely teetotal. Didn't name the kids after a drunken night out. Now whether it's true or not, or any of that, is kind of irrelevant really. It was just funny how, I didn't know that Jack Daniel and Tia Marie were drinks. So yeah, it's slightly suspicious, but you never know in this world that we live in. So it brought me an interesting point actually. It reminded me of diets, funnily enough, and how when people go on a different named diet, it's still a diet. So it's like, there's this new diet that's come out that's called the XYZ, and it's still a diet. So it's like, it doesn't matter whether you thought they were drinks names or not. They are drinks names. So it's almost like, I didn't know there were drinks names. Really? It's like when you go on this new funky diet, it's still a diet. Do you know what I mean? It's still a diet. It doesn't change the fact. So people are always going to say those are drinks names, and people are always going to say, well, you're on a diet, no matter what it's called. So the whole point of that is we're compelled to go after sort of short-term fixes. I call it the magpie thing with the shiny objects, and that's okay. It's part of what we are as humans. But the problem is, what we do sometimes is go after something that is technically just another diet. And if you have struggled when you're on a diet, and this new thing that's not called a diet but actually is, it's still a diet. It doesn't matter what you call it or pretend to call it or pretend it's not a diet. It's still a diet. And actually, the point is, if you want to lose weight, you've got to start eating less. So you have to follow some kind of diet or eating plan. So don't be caught up by this newfangled thing that's come out that's just trying to make you eat less. Because arguably that's all it's trying to do. Because like I've said before, one of the fundamental problems with the way people are trying to get their head around obesity is that they are, number one, they're making a physical issue a personal issue when it's not. And number two, they misunderstand how humans work. Human beings are irrational creatures. We work off emotion primarily when we make instant decisions. So trying to speak logic to somebody, they'll go, oh yeah, I totally understand that. But like, for example, if you're like me and you work with clients, I can give them a logical explanation in, say, a session I'm with them. But when they leave that session and they're making their decisions throughout the day, they're making irrational decisions because I'm not with them to make sure they're making the right ones. So the point is, what we need to do is get people being aware of that and actually making rational, logical decisions and taking a step back and looking at something and going, do you know what? That's just another diet. No matter what it's called, instead of getting excited by, wow, I'm on this new intermittent fasting thing, versus, do you know what? I'm just going to eat between these hours, therefore I'm going to eat less. Rather than having to invest and buy and get caught up in fads and things that just aren't going to last, because then you're just going to hop from thing to thing and you're never going to see any results, which ultimately is the problem. People hop from thing to thing, never see any results, they don't stick to anything. Yeah, which again is a logical thing, and everyone goes, yeah, logical. But then we still go after the shiny object. So what you need to do, I think, what's better is getting quick results. Like, for example, if you come to a free trial with me at my bootcamp for women, called the Fit Brain Bootcamp, which you can apply for a free trial by clicking the link above or below. We aim to get you to drop a clothing size within 6 weeks. Okay, so we're not going to say you're going to lose 1.5 stone, because then if we make that promise, then you're going to focus on that. But realistically, if you do what I tell you, you'll lose a clothing size within 6 weeks. And irrespective of how you work with me, whether that's one-on-one or whether that's in the groups, that's kind of the benchmark. £7 to £10, 6 weeks, plus something you can stick to long term, so you not only get the results, you keep them, and that's the goal. So we have to get you eating less, we have to make sacrifices, but we don't have to give it some funky name yeah, to make it a novelty, which is just in essence just another diet. So just be careful of something that's got this funky thing that's trying to convince you it's something other than just making you eat less. Because we all remember the Clean 9, the beeswax and the aloe vera and the bee pollen and whatever it was, and the gagging on the aloe vera gel. It was just a calorie deficit, really. And they made these products to make you think that that was doing the trick, where actually it was just the fact that you were just eating less for 9 days, which just eat less for 9 days and find a way to make it sustainable. So yeah, if you want to get involved, you want some help from me, feel free, that's fine. If you're a woman over the age of 14, you want to book a free trial, Fit Boy Bootcamp, click the link above or below. If you need any help sort of one-on-one or any of that, absolutely fine. Just click contact me via the page or on my profile. And again, I'd really appreciate if there's anybody out there who might benefit from this, please share the video, comment on the video and drop a like in below. I'd really appreciate that as well. Have a good day.